Pencils down. Pencils down to now. Pencils down. Right there. Look, Eddie, if you have one of these, you're dropping that motherfucker.
Put it down.
Right there, you drop it. If it's right there, it's right.
If not, you get the claw.
Right. Right. Stomach or head? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. When I do this, it's painful either way.
It's painful. It's unstoppable. There's nothing you can do. But there it is. Pencils, they go down. The
suspension of disbelief to think that this is some sort, like someone's hand is big enough and strong enough to squeeze another man's head. If it's a man on an infant, yeah, I could see. Yeah, you could crush his skull. But like another grown man,
and then or the stomach. Either
and then
one.
What do you do when this guy's doing this with both of his hands?
Right.
Both of your arms are free.
You
can just either punch
or kick him in the nuts,
or just punch him in the face as he's squeezing your face.
You know.
But to just flail your arms around in pain while you have the claw put on your face makes less sense than the heart punch.
It really does. The heart punch,
does.
I can believe that for a little bit. I could kind of believe. This is a heart punch. So just look, we're without Cody again. All right, let's just get that out of the way,
man.
But I mean, I don't think I ever told you a story. So back when I, lived in Dallas, Texas, Eddie.
Yeah, sure.
I worked at a place
Dak threw 3 picks today at training camp.
It's not looking good.
No, Dak's having a rough training camp.
But you know why, though? You know why he's having a rough training camp, right?
Mike McCarthy's installed a new offense.
Every snap, Micah Parsons is in his fucking face.
Micah Parsons is just...
Micah Parsons has even been reprimanded for hitting Dak too much. And Parsons like, I'm sorry, but did you hear what Parsons did? Can I go crazy Cowboy fan talk here?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Don't know why anyone else hadn't done this before.
Is there any other kind?
There's no other kind. Do you know how he spent his offseason workouts?
What?
Andre Whitworth. He called him up and said, how do I get past guys like you? And Whitworth was like, I can't believe no one's ever done this before. It seemed like a no-brainer. And so he just worked with Andre Whitworth all before training camp on how to get past. And that makes so much sense. Wouldn't you? Instead, I get asking like another defensive guy, but I think I would rather go, wait a minute. Here's a guy who is a Hall of Fame level at stopping me. So I need to learn from him.
Yeah,
what bothered him the most?
What are your weaknesses?
Yes, what bothered you the most? So he spent, and Whitworth was like, this dude has no ceiling. So that's the only crazy Cowboy fan thing I'm going to look to is if Micah Parsons and that defense gets rolling, I can live with Dak. You know what I mean? If that defense.
Yeah, but I mean.
Now, you're not going to be.
Dak's been in the league, 6 years, 7 years now?
Yeah, 7.
And he's tossing multiple picks in training camp. That's kind of disturbing.
It's very bad. Good. And the thing is, if that defense is going to be like it seems they are, then I still think you lose in the playoffs, but you get there. Because Dak, you could survive him in the regular season if he's a pick machine, right? But once you get to the playoffs, you're just gonna have to hope and pray at that point. But
you're gonna need a quarterback at some point.
Yes. Yep. I think. Unless he just has this insane turnaround, which that doesn't happen. Guys who, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have, like, I'm trying to think, has a quarterback ever later in his career who started good and then got hurt and got shitty, got really good again? I don't know if that's ever happened.
No, I've seen quarterbacks start off bad.
And they get okay.
And then they get, like Drew Brees wasn't great in San Diego.
Yeah, he was not. And
then they drafted, Manning, and they traded for, what's his face, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
And Phillip Rivers sat for that first year, and Drew Brees played out of his mind, and then went to the New Orleans Saints. So he was bad enough where they had to draft another quarterback in the first round. And then he became a Hall of Famer. I don't know of any other quarterbacks that's been great, dipped, and then
got great off. And I think the sad fact was Dak was most likely a one-year wonder that first year where he was just incredible. And then, I just don't,
Well, he was so good his first year because, one, he was 4 inches taller than Tony Romo.
Right.
Didn't get hurt. Like, Tony Romo would just breathe and break his back.
And Jones finally had a line around Romo that year.
Yeah.
So Dak had a great line that year.
Dak had a great line. He had Ezekiel Elliott in his prime.
I believe was Antonio Bryant still rolling at that point? Not
I think
Dez.
Dez Bryant was still there.
He still had Dez. I mean,
and Dak had his legs. Dak had his legs.
You were gifted.
He doesn't have any of that now.
You were gifted an amazing line. You were gifted a top 5 receiver at the time. Dez probably was,
and probably the top running back in the league at the time.
Maybe the best running back in the game. And you were gifted all that, which makes me wonder. And here's where a lot of Cowboy fans will disagree with me, but I think if Romo hadn't been hurt, they'd probably go further with Romo. That team. Let's say Romo
that year, yeah.
If Romo were healthy, because Romo is far better than anyone will ever give him credit for. That guy was...
Romo won them a lot of games they should not have won.
And he got a lot of shitty wide receivers mega deals.
Yeah.
That guy got dudes paid. Laurent Robinson should have never gotten a mega contract from Jacksonville. Miles Austin, I think, got a mega contract from San Diego. He gave... I mean, I will defend Romo. That dude needed a line. He never had a line. He got slaughtered. He was a gunslinger, good and bad, right?
Right.
But if you have a good line, give me a gunslinger any day of the week. If you have a good line and a good defense, give me a gunslinger any day of the week.
And never a great head coach. Never was under a great head. Bill Parcells that first year.
But he was kind of done. Parcells was kind of mailing it in a way. Yeah, but that was it. I mean, Parcells recognized him. He saw him right off the, he was like, we should get this guy. But it's, what could have been? What could have been? But I'm not holding, I think Dallas will be a playoff team. But if they're going to be anything more than that, Dak has to be mistake-free for like 90% of the season. You know what I mean? Like and I don't have.
Is he you can make an argument he's the third best quarterback in that division.
Who's number one? Hurts?
Hurts got to be Hurts.
Hurts. Who's number two?
And then Daniel Jones with the season he had last year. But I'm saying you can make an argument between 2 and 3 with those two.
And it's never a good sign when you can make an argument that Daniel Jones is as good as you. But watch him have it again. Though I would rather take Daniel Jones right now. If you told me you have Dak or Daniel Jones, okay.
Coming off last year's performances,
absolutely. You measure both. Look at us, sports talk. Who else can do this, Eddie? Who else can do this?
Nobody.
And then can we talk about the Deadpool 3 to Cassandra motherfucking Nova?
Woo! I wouldn't even think when they announced her being in it. I didn't even think Cassandra Nova. That wasn't even in the realm of possibility.
And that actress was great in The Crown as Princess Di. Yeah. And dude, can I tell you my one? Oh man, if that's true, does that mean they're going a young Xavier? Because that girl's like in her 20s. Because I want Giancarlo Esposito to be Professor X in the worst way.
So do I.
You can also assume that Cassandra Nova basically built a body from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Or killed someone else
and just took over
their brain and took over their body. So the good news is with Cassandra Nova, since she is obviously just a pure evil version of Professor X.
Yeah.
She could be anybody.
Technically, in that shitty X-Men timeline from Fox, Professor X gets destroyed by Dark Phoenix in X-Men 3, right?
Last Stand.
But then in the end credits scene of that movie, I believe you see an old man in a bed and his fingers start to move. Right. So obviously you're thinking that Professor X inhabited that body and became Professor X.
He took over a dead body. Right. Yeah, a dying body. I think he would probably take over maybe someone that was checking, maybe someone whose brain was dead, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, well, this.
But like, it shows you
no
that
guilt.
it's possible.
Right. Right.
It's been established in that universe that you can move from body to body.
I think in the comics, Nova did build her body from scratch. I believe.
Yeah.
Because I thought Professor killed her in the womb or something. It's been a minute.
That's what he wanted to do. He thought he did.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, real quick, dare I see, if there's been any changes in the top of the pops here. You ready?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Brian Hill's still your king of the hill. Brian Hill still on top with his very humble prize. His very humble acceptance speech.
Very humble.
Very humble.
Most humble.
Most humble acceptance speech.
He's the most humble.
The most humble I've ever seen.
Ever seen.
Never
been more humble.
Never been more humble. I'll suck your cock better than anyone else has ever sucked your cock.
I'll humbly suck it better than anybody's ever sucked.
Lick your nutsack back to back. Like that Nan song.
Taint the tip. I'll take on that dick.
Tits down, ass up. That's the way I like to fuck. That's how I do it. Tits down, ass up. The only one. Honey, what's the matter?
Marley wanted out. I don't think he likes you doing Trump.
We got I think Marley got upset at my Trump going.
Marley's the Trumper, that's why.
He worked up an appetite for running around on the bench.
He might have. No one will
Marley's
make you
MAGA.
come back to back like me. I'll make you come back to back like me. I think that'd be better. Trump reading the song Nan, but just Trump. We've done that already, but I think that needs to just be a monthly episode of the Ramble where we just read the song Nan as Trump. You don't know Nan, who will represent like me, who will say some shit like me, who will lay the dick like me. You don't know Nan. Eat the coochie with the legs up and then blow it all in your butt.
So much in your butt.
So much.
So much. More than you've ever seen.
Lick a nutsack like me. Make you come back to back like me.
A lot of people tell me.
Well, everyone says no one can lick a nutsack better than me. Everyone tells me I'm the best I've ever seen at licking a nutsack. That's what they say. I'm the best I've ever seen at licking a nutsack.
That's what they say.
Everyone tells me I'm the best I've ever seen at licking a nutsack. So there we go. There
it is.
Oh my God! 13 minutes? Is this intro time? Look, if you know the words,
Yeah.
and pretend that Cody's playing the music.
Pretend.
And if you know the words, talking to myself and feeling old. Come on, everybody. Sometimes I like to quit. Nothing ever seems to fit. Hanging around. Nothing to do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. There we go. Little Carpenters for you. Little Carpenter's action for everyone.
Beautiful.
Funny,
Beautiful.
but it seems I always wind up here with you. Nice to know somebody loves me. There it is. There we go. This is the Ramble, Eddie. We're brambling big here. Rambling number 3. You ready for this one? 357. The
357.
Magnum. The Magnum of Rambles.
Ooh.
The Magnum of Rambles. A great ramble. Again, a heavy-hearted ramble. Losing Pee Wee Herman. This is the Pee Wee Herman losing Paul. We lost William Friedkin, too.
I know, man.
Exorcist. French Connection. Sorcerer, which I think is his best movie, is Sorcerer. The great William
Sorcerer's
Friedkin,
great.
who would, fire guns off on set to surprise his actors when he felt they weren't.
I mean, a nut job, but brilliant.
The best William Friedkin story that I've heard was Exorcist. When the final scene, when Marin jumps out the window to his death to sacrifice himself to save young Reagan.
Yeah.
And His best friend, the priest, goes to give him his last rites, right? The actor who played his best friend in the film was an actual priest. Did you know that? He was an actual priest.
Yeah.
And William Friedkin didn't think he was giving enough emotion when he was giving his last rites because he said it was just very robotic and stiff. And after like 12 takes or something, William Friedkin just called the priest over. And the guy said the priest thought he was just going to give me a pep talk or maybe explain what he wanted. And Friedkin didn't say a word. The guy gets close enough and he just slaps the shit out of him and then yells action. And the guy, and sure enough, he's just full of nerves. So he's like shaking. And there it was.
Could you imagine that happening today on set?
Well, Baldwin killed a guy. Baldwin did kill a woman.
That's true.
Baldwin killed a woman. I mean,
but that wasn't to get a reaction out of it.
No, that was most likely a horrific accident.
That was the armor partying too hard the night before.
Yes, yeah, that was. I should say he allegedly murdered a woman. Allegedly murdered a woman. I guess that's not even murder, right? Obviously, if it's a mistake.
Manslaughter.
Like
that's what we call manslaughter.
There it is. That's the manslaughter. Which is funny because manslaughter is the lesser charge, right? Technically.
Yeah.
Which is the funniest part.
Right.
Which is maybe the funniest snafu in Dolomite. When Dolomite beats when he murders the 3 guys in Creeper who raid Creeper's apartment, right? And then the cops show up to bust him. And then the Dolomite tells the cop, "What's the charge this time, man?" And the cop says, "This time it's murder." And then his partner goes, "Looks more like slaughter to me." It's like, well, isn't that a lesser charge? Like, wouldn't you take that?
That's
if
you're
you're
accidental death.
If you're Dolomite, that's what you want to hear.
Take the slaughter, man.
That's what you want to hear. If you're Dolomite, yeah, sure. He said it. Anyway, we have emails. It's you know what? Fuck it. By the way, let's start here. You can email us, ramble@theramblepod.com.
Do it.
We're on Twitter @PodcastRamble1.
Sure are.
Instagram @PodcastRamble. We have a YouTube channel. I bet you didn't know that. It's called the Ramble Tube. We have merch, TeePublic. You and I have comedy albums galore. Galore. So go find them, all that good shit. Give us a 5-star rating. Positive text review. Someone else has fallen off of iTunes, Eddie. We went from 138. We're back at 136. This has to change. This has to change.
We're backsliding, man.
We're back.
We're backsliding.
Backslider. Boom, 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 boom. Bended knee. Wait, were the Toadies? Did you hear them back in the day?
Yeah, they were towards my towards the end of college for me, mid-90s, right?
So they got some airplay over there.
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't know because they were a Dallas band. So I didn't know if I didn't know if we just heard them because they were local, right?
No, they had that one big hit that everybody played. What was it called?
Do you want to die?
Yeah.
Possum Kingdom.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy. It was like he was trying to rape a girl.
Rape and murder her, I think.
Rape and murder. Like, I'm going to take you around the bend.
Around the lake tonight.
Right. I'm going to rape and murder you. If you don't give it up to me, I'm going to rape and murder you.
Give it up to me. Do you want to be? Yeah, that was...
Yeah, pretty creepy song.
Creepy. Yeah. Very creepy. Very creepy. That was that era, though, where, like, every song was from the perspective of a psycho. I mean, it was... I mean... Pearl Jam sings about the school shooter. You got fucking Nirvana with Rape Me. Yeah, there's just every... Yeah. Like, it was all from the perspective of just absolute fucking psychos. Which is why I think one of the more reasons I appreciated the Barbie movie making Matchbox 20 into a punchline. Because, boy, did I hate that turn. We knew it was coming. We had it too good. We had it too good with Rock. And I didn't know that in hindsight you knew it was coming. Back then I thought it was just going to be Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden forever, right?
Yeah.
And boy, did that take a turn. Did that take a rough turn?
Push you out. Like we've said it before on this show several times. Probably the worst era of music is like
Yes.
97 to like 2000. Like
yes, just
that
it's
era right there.
Brutal.
Just awful.
When your
Garbage.
best song, when I think, if I had to pick the absolute,
Your best song from that era?
you know what I have to go with? Do you know what I have to
What?
pick? Tell me if I'm wrong. If you think of something else that I forgot, but of that genre, of that ilk, right?
Yeah.
I think the only one was that Michael Jackson cover. And are you okay? Are you okay, Eddie? That's it.
That's
the only
a
one I
cover.
could
Does
give
that
you.
even count? That's a
I
cover.
guess it does. It probably doesn't even count. And are you okay?
Annie, are you okay? Are you?
You've been hit by. Like that's it. That's all I can
Okay,
give
Mano.
you.
Oh, it's tough.
It's rough.
Papa Roach. Oh.
The only one I might give you is that "Got the Life" song by Korn. Maybe that just kind of is the only one that. Maybe.
But what was bad? That sort of speed metal crap, or was it the fucking Matchbox 20 shit? What was worse?
The sensitive rapist songs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Closing
I think.
time.
Oh, I know what it takes to get me high. Oh God! If you could only see the way
fucking
she
A.
loves me, maybe you'd understand. Ah!
Fuck. Just fucking. The
I would
most
swallow my
rapey
pride.
music
I
of
would
all
choke on the
time.
ride to the lag of the will leave me empty and tired. Rendezvous when I'm through with you.
Oh, awful era of music. Just a toilet bowl of music.
No matter where you went, there was a turd. No matter where you were swimming in that bowl, there was a lot of turd. You were just.
I wanna push
You around. The only saving grace was like the hardcore hip hop of that time. That was all we had to get us through. That was it. That was
bad,
it.
man. That was bad.
it. Oh God, fucking brutal. That just
Fucking Limp Bizkit.
Oh. So we have our hats. This is, man, rest in peace, Paul Rubens, dude. To think that he went down for the most innocuous fucking thing ever. It wasn't even like sleazy kiddie porn. It was just he was jerking off in a fucking theater with a bunch of other people jerking off watching a porn.
Yeah.
And that was fucking. He could never. It's weird. And like the other one, and we also lost Sinead O'Connor. Can we just say she was right on SNL? Can we just say, oh, by the way, the thing that fucking everybody thought kind of torpedoed her career, she was fucking dead on. The fucking Pope was covering up fucking child molesting. Is that really? That's we're gonna say she was the villain here for that? Fucking unbelievable. And Pee-wee, Jesus, just one of the all-time great characters in pop culture history. So good.
I think maybe is that why you think the jerking off in public thing went so hard because Pee-wee is such an innocent character.
Yeah, maybe.
Had it been like just fucking like River Phoenix got caught beating off in a movie theater, no one would have given a shit.
Yeah, I think. But he was so the way he addressed it at the MTV Awards was fucking hilarious. Remember that?
Yeah.
Heard any
Pretty
good
good
jokes
jokes
lately? Like that was, I mean, man. But he rebounded. He had a great stint on Raw. Remember that when he was with The Rock?
That's right. Do you think him going away for that amount of time stopped that character from getting stale, or was he that brilliant where he could have persevered and made that?
I think going away was fun, whatever, but I think he was that good. He was just always funny. It was, how does that character ever grow old? It was just always fun.
I was just watching that clip of him on 30 Rock when he was like that Prince or whatever in the wheelchair.
Right,
Did you ever see that? And he had like the little tiny hand, and he couldn't move his legs, and he was in his wheelchair. He looks like ancient, and then like it's his birthday, and he's 25.
That was great.
And she's like, "You're 25." He's like, "I know." He's so funny.
He was great. Paul Rubens is a fucking still one of the biggest pops in any Batman movie was Pee-wee and Simone as the Penguin's parents. God,
the Cobblepots.
The Cobblepots. Well, so we have our Hall of Fame hat is Pee Wee's side character. These were all tough, Eddie. These were all tough. Joshua Snyder. Snyder says, hope things are awesome for you all. Hey, Jerry, Eddie, guessing poor Cody's in rehab. He might be. Pee Wee's side character, Francis Buxton, because he brought out some of Pee Wee's best comebacks and one-liners. That's very true. I mean, it's a tough... Phil Sargent. Sarge? That's an easy one for Gumble, right? Sarge. Gent. Sarge. Hey, Jerry and Eddie, how did no one include Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds in the Goth Open Close Encore? How depressing. All right, that's true. Pokemon, Goosebumps, and Pogs were things I missed out on. Just aged out all of them, but saw how my younger cousins really enjoyed them. His Hall of Fame hat for Pee Wee's side character have to be Mr. Too Cool for School Hipster and go with the Amazing Larry. His backstory and explanation for his hairstyle was covered in a deleted scene, so only DVD deep dive nerds know about it. I think it's better to not know. I think he's basically the shark from Jaws. The less you see of Amazing Larry, the better. It makes the impact all the more incredible. I mean, that's an all-time... It didn't make my top 5, but that's a great... Is there something you'd like to share with the rest of us, Amazing Larry? And then the way he does it...
And that's the last you see of him. It's gone forever.
First and last you see of Amazing Larry.
Gone forever.
Amazing Larry! It's the greatest. Amazing... Fuck. How does every dude named Larry not have their Twitter handle or social media handle be at Amazing Larry? I don't know. Charles Phillip, CP? Seeps. Boy, did he pulled a good one. I never even thought of this one. Pee Wee's side character, the king of cartoons. He's literally the king of cartoons, king of the greatest thing in the world.
True.
CP, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Who did you have, Eddie? Who was your Hall of Fame Pee Wee side character?
It was tough because I liked fucking Phil Hartman's character. I loved Lawrence Fishburne played Cowboy.
Curtis.
The genie, Mecha Zombie. But like your hero is only as great as his villain.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And no villain pushed Pee Wee to his heights more than Francis Buxton.
And do we put him? Is Francis Buxton? Because that's my pick too. Is Francis Buxton up there with the Joker as far as just all-time villains?
All-time villains, because one without the other is just. I mean, Pee Wee's great, but Pee Wee was at his best.
Right.
When he was wrestling Francis in a big giant pool, a bathtub. Like that's. And then he apologized.
We're miles from where anyone can hear us. It's Francis. How could it be anyone else?
Francis.
It was Francis. And I thought it was just brilliant that they're both 5-year-olds that are played by they're the only kids played by adults in the movie. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Everything about it is just brilliant, and
just
the
children.
fact that they're not kids. And then when and then Fran, I don't even want the bike. When he's listening to Pee Wee give you just take the bike.
And just imagine that Francis every day fills that giant bathtub up with water
with
just
toys.
To take a bath. Just to take a bath. A pool-sized bathtub. He just drains it every night and then refills it back up. Such a waste of water.
He's basically Donald Trump. That's the best part. The Bucks.
It might be, yeah.
It's, oh man, the greatest. I'm with you. It's Francis Buxton, no question. Ramble 358, Eddie. We're going crazy. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Barry Manilow song. What Barry Manilow song goes on? Is it Copacabana? Is it Mandy? Is it I Write the Songs?
Ooh.
Huh? That's tough.
That's tough. Might have to be Copa, but we'll see.
Raining down as cold as ice. Shadows of a man. Your face through a window. I mean, there's looks like we made it. There's You know I can't smile without you. I mean, I don't know. Even now. God damn, that's a tough. All right, Barry Manilow, what song goes on the hat? It's time now for Open Close Encore, Eddie. Pee-wee songs. Joshua Snyder.
Snites.
Songs from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You open with Pee-wee rides out on his bike. That's your opener. And then the performing hijinks to Danny Elfman's theme from Big Adventure. You close with the Cyndi Lauper song theme from Pee-wee's Playhouse. And you encore. Twisted Sister comes out, and we think it'll be Burnin' Hell, but they actually play a cover of Tequila with Pee-wee dancing, of course. I'm in. I'm watching that concert. Front row tickets is what I'm doing. Front row tickets. Phil Sargent. Sarge? Gent? You open with the Breakfast Machine song. No better way to get anything going. I was going to go Too Cool for School route with Pee-wee doing the Girl in the Flying Trapeze from Big Top Pee-wee to close out the show, but you have to go with Tequila. Much like Bohemian Rhapsody from Wayne's World, the movie introduced another generation to a classic. You encore with Twisted Sister joining Pee-wee on stage and Burn in Hell. R.I.P. Pee-wee and A.J. Perez. We're gonna burn in hell on me now, won't you lay on me now, 'cause I'm free. Charles Phillips. CP. You open with the Pee-wee's Playhouse opening theme. No better way to start the show. You close with the Champs Tequila. This song makes everyone dance like Pee-wee. Encore, Danny Elfman, Girl on the Flying Trapeze. It's a sweet love song. It's a great way to end the evening. Look at that. Not bad. Eddie, I opened with the song when he's making breakfast. I mean, the Breakfast Machine song. I close with the Nightmare song. The
hospital with the clowns.
Yeah. And then I encore. It's got to be Tequila. It's got to be. Eddie, what was your pick? What was your open close?
I open with the Breakfast song, of course.
Yep.
Much like you. I close with Burn in Hell by Twisted Sister.
Nice.
And then I encore with Tequila.
There it is. What shows? Ramble 358, Eddie. Let's go deep.
Yeah.
90s. Faith No More.
Ooh.
Faith No More. What do they open, close, and
No
encore
More.
with? Faith No More. Listening. It's time to read books and play video games. Eddie, bring your vagina over here. We're reading books and playing games. Bring your pussy over here. We're reading books and playing games.
Just locker room talk.
Bring that pussy over here. I'll grab it. We'll read books and play video games. Make you come back to back like me. Lick your nutsack like me. Eat the coochie with the legs up, then I blow it all in the butt. Oh, God. I blow it all in the butt. Oh, fuck. Phil Sargent, the Sarge. Books and video games. Pikmin 4 just came out, so I'm trying to carve out time to play it. Until then, I'm just watching my oldest play Dead by Daylight, as they just released Nick Cage as a playable character. I just played that. It's very fun. I've also been keeping up with my Ring Fit adventure. Between the Power Pad, Wii Balance Board, and Ring Fit, someday Nintendo will get me swole. It's going to happen.
Nice.
Reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Interesting story about two friends making video games. I'm trying to watch I'm a Virgo, which feels like it should be in my wheelhouse, but I'm having attention issues while watching it. I do want to see that one, too. Charles Phillips, CP, Seeps. Reading books, playing video games. Video games, more playtests on their own card game called This Is How You Die. And I'm still reading Coraline. Very nice, CP. All right. I am almost done with Tears of the Kingdom, Eddie. I didn't want it to end. I don't want it.
It's got to end at some point.
I know. And I'm loving every second of it. It's so fucking good. The big holy shit story moment is an all-time holy shit story moment. Couldn't believe they did it. I loved it. Brilliant. And I finished Cyberpunk. Finally. Did I tell you about this? The secret ending I unlocked?
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah,
I mentioned it here in the show, right?
I believe so. A few weeks ago, yeah.
Woo! It was fucking great. it was just, and then so you go in the suicide run, just you and Keanu, and his ghost is just like heckling and talking shit throughout the whole suicide mission, and I was nervous because so here's what I wanted to do, Eddie. I wanted to go guns blazing, which is the hardest thing to do in a game like this because everyone else has guns too. They're going to go guns blazing on you as well. I also found a gun called Skippy in the game that talks to you. And it's maybe one of the funniest characters in video game history. Because when you're killing someone with Skippy, he goes, oh yeah. Like while you're murdering someone, he's like, ooh, more.
Ew.
And then like I chose a female main character. The character V, I made her a female. And when you kill someone with Skippy as V, sometimes he'll go, statistically, most murders are committed by men. You go, girl. It's just shit like that. And one of them was, according to Christian doctrine, you're going to hell for this. Like every time you murder someone. And then my favorite Skippy moment is sometimes you'll be aiming at an enemy and he will shoot 5 shots off before you squeeze the trigger. And then he goes, oh, I'm so embarrassed. This has never happened before. Like, it's fucking great. Skippy's tremendous. So I wanted to go in guns blazing, just with a handgun, too. I had Johnny. I found Keanu's handgun from the beginning of the game. I modded it all up, and I'm like, I'm just going to... And I kept getting clean. Now, you have to wait 5 actual minutes in the game before Keanu offers the secret quest, right?
Okay.
And every quest is named after a song in the thing, right? So one quest will be like Space Oddity, right? Another mission is with a little help from my friends, right? Shit like that. This one, it was perfect since it's a suicide run. When Keanu gives you the quest and you accept it and you start it, it just says the little mission thing comes up and it's called Don't Fear the Reaper. Perfect. And you're going in and so I would go in and I would get murdered in the first room of this lobby of the corporation that you're attacking, which is the hardest room to get past, is the first room, right? Okay. And I could never get out of the first room. I might make it past the entranceway, but once more dudes come in, I would always get toasted. And I was like, fuck, and I really wanted to just do all handguns. But you have to wait each time. You have to, because when you die on that mission, it's game over. The credits start rolling. That's it. That's the game. So you have to restart your save and wait the 5 minutes again, right? And then go do it again. So after like 5 times of just getting clean, I'm like, man, I was like, well, do I want to commit like a few more hours of getting my handgun level at its absolute highest? But even then, I was at a really high level and it was tough. But I'm like, wait a minute. My hacking skills are already super high. So why am I fucking around? So I just went in and did a mixture. I did guns blazing, and then I would hack into all the troops, the enemies, and just set them all on fire. Like, you could set, like, 2 of them on fire at a time. And then others, I would give what they call contagion, where you just give them a virus, and they just start dying, and it keeps spreading until, like, 6 people get it. And then so you just wipe out rooms of dudes. It was fucking great. And then everyone else I would just blast. And I finally beat it, and it was fucking fantastic. And you're given a choice. So I think I told you the premise of the game is the character V finds out that they have a microchip inserted in them that has basically an imprint of Keanu Reeves' character who died 50 years earlier in an explosion, right?
Yeah.
And he's taking over your body, and he will kill you and eventually take over your body. But I actually had a really good relationship. I built up a good friendship with Johnny Silverhand, his character, throughout the game. So at the end of the game, you have a choice. You let Johnny take your body and you become one with cyberspace, or the opposite happens. You keep your body and Johnny becomes one with cyberspace. And you're also told, though, that no matter what you choose, if you choose to keep your body because of everything that's happened, you only have about 6 months to live, tops. So do you want to just live out your last 6 months or what? And then so I chose to give the body to Johnny. And that pisses off Johnny. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? No, don't fucking throw your life away. I don't want this. He and then I do it anyway. And then so it's a really cool final scene. And they are making a second game. And I hope I made the canon choice. Because now that I think about it, I hope part 2 is Johnny now trying to get V out of cyberspace. You know what I mean? I hope that becomes the storyline of part 2 is he's wondering maybe there's a chance I can go back and grab her. You know what I mean? Or him or her.
Right.
And get them out and put them in a body. You know? So we'll see. That's what I'm hoping they do. But it was fucking great. And then I finished Oxenfree 2 as well on my... And that was incredible. Friend of the Ramble, Sean Crankle's game. We got to get him back on to talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
got to get him back on to talk about it. It was, man, it was fucking... That was a very, very satisfying, very eerie as shit. I think Colton would really dig it, man. I think the first game is like $1 on the eShop.
I'll probably get it. I'll get it for him.
Yeah, Oxenfree 1 and 2. It'll take him like 4 hours to beat each game, tops. And they're fucking great. Oh man, it's just, and what I love about it, you don't have to, it's all just decision based. So there's no speed running. You know what I mean? There's no fucking...
Right.
You don't have to just sit there. Some guy can beat it in 5 minutes because he can mash buttons. There's none of that. It's just, you got to follow the story, and it's a choose-your-own adventure in a lot of ways. So I panic over every fucking decision I made. But still good shit. Are you reading or playing anything right now?
Not right now, no. Colton wants me to... I'm trying to dust off my PS3.
Oh,
Colton
shit.
wants to go back and play some old PS3 games because they're not.
Which ones?
What do you want to play? I think it's probably a fucking Lego game. I think Pirates of the Caribbean Lego.
Nice.
But I gotta charge the remotes and I gotta see if I gotta hook the thing up. I haven't had that thing running in like 5 years.
Well, look, I know people who can fix it if there's a problem. I got.
Hopefully there's not.
I got
but
you.
We'll see.
I got you, buddy. Don't you
We'll
worry.
see.
And if it needs to be, I got it.
All right, thank you.
My God, Eddie, it's the time of the show. It's our top 5.
Woo.
Can you believe this? Top 5 Pee Wee Herman's big adventure moments. Now, next Ramble. I'm going to go big on next Ramble. 358.
Okay.
Top 5 all-time music bands, music groups. All-time. Top 5 all-time music groups. It cannot be a solo artist. It has to be a band. Deal? Top 5. Ramble
of all
at the
time.
Ramble
Of
of
all
all
time.
time.
That's a
Ramble
big
at the
list.
Ramble pod. I don't see how I think my top 5 will all be bands that had their heyday in the 1960s. I don't see how it could go any other way, but we'll see. But for now, I'm pretty much convinced my list will all be bands who had their heyday in the 1960s. But top 5 all-time bands ever.
Okay.
Top 5 Pee Wee Herman's big adventure moments. Joshua Snyder. Snides? His number 5 is the Rube Goldberg Breakfast Machine. Number 4, the chase through the Warner Brothers parking lot. Number 3, Large Marge. Number 2, your banter with Francis Buxton. And number 1, the Biker Bar Tequila. Have a terrific rest of your week. Best Snides. Phil Sargent. Top 5 moments. Sarge from Pee Wee's Big Adventure. The basement crime scene. Knitting. 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 His number 4, rescuing the animals from the burning pet store. Who hasn't planned out how they'd save the animals when in a pet store ever since? Very true. Very true. And of course, running out with the snakes. Ah! Number 3, chaining his bike to the clown on a pan and scan copy. Going too cool for school here because this version shows the whole cut in the bottom of the side compartment so the chain can keep going.
Yeah, you can see the chain. You see the chain coming through.
That's great. Plays to the camp of the movie. Honorable mention to the street signs on tracks you can see in the pan and scan. Number 2, Pee Wee being comfortable when disguised as a lady. We all should be that comfortable in our own body. Very true. Right, honey? I've seen better heads on boils. Number 1, Large Marge. Scariest moment in any movie ever. There, I said it. Pee Wee's death hit me hard. He introduced me to a world of comedy that just made sense to me, even when it didn't make sense. Have a great week, everyone. Phil Sargent. Very nice. Charles Phillips, CP. Top 5 tequila, because we've all done this dance. Number 4, rescuing the snakes at the pet store. Absolutely. Number 3, when he finally finds his bike on the movie set and takes off with it, he doesn't ask, just takes it. LOL. I'll say, I think I'll start a paper route right now. Number 2, I know you are, but what am I? Me and my cousins used to do this and piss off our moms. And number 1, Large Marge. This scene used to freak me out when I was a child. The effects work is top-notch. It's fucking great. Yeah. Top-notch stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it was funny. That is true. Like how there's something, and it's funny how like all these morons who somehow think like woke is bad or whatever will be. You know, they always seem to act like things were better in the '80s. You had Pee Wee not give a shit about being a woman. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you also notice how Aliens is one of the most. Because I saw it the other day with Andrea's nephew was visiting. I showed him Aliens.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is one of the. It's a rather woke movie, which is another reason I love it, because you have the two of the females are all some of the toughest characters in the movie.
You have
right
Sigourney Weaver.
The women,
you have the Queen Alien.
The Queen Alien. You have
It's all
Vasquez. You have Newt, who survived out here without any of this shit longer than any of us. Like, you have like the toughest characters are the women. They're among the toughest, right? And it starts the whole pronoun thing. When Bishop is like, I actually prefer the term synthetic person myself. Like, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what he identifies as. And nobody has, you know who the only one person who has a problem with it is Paul Reiser, the villain. Remember he goes, the synthetic human. Or whatever, he like, says it annoyed. He's the only one who has an issue. With the
he's
worm.
The biggest piece of shit.
The fucking slimeball piece of shit is the only one who has an issue with Bishop identifying as something that he has not been called. That they don't. It's fucking tremendous. So fucking good. Man, this is it. I agree. Pee Wee was like, I think most of our generation. He was a lot of our like first introduction to comedy, right? Like it was Paul Rubens, that character. And it was funny. You remember, like, when after the movie, it was just like Pee Wee fever, and I remember renting that HBO special.
Yeah,
and it
too.
was not for kids, which is even funnier.
Not.
It was even for like, oh wait a minute, but it was still great. Like, I mean, just an all-time character, man. Jesus, the Pee Wee's Playhouse. By the time that hit the air, I was obviously too young. Or too old for a Captain Kangaroo morning show, but who didn't fucking watch it?
You still fucking watched it, man.
It was so good. Just the word of the day, like it was. Oh man, it's a fucking yet again. We've said it a million times, and we'll continue to say, it, fuck cancer for fucking ever.
Yeah,
fuck it. Charles Phillips, top 5 Pee Wee's Big Adventure moments, number 5. Oh, we already did these. Sorry. So now it's ours. You know, my number 5. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Infinity. It was that I know you are, but what am I scene between Pee Wee and Francis Buxton. What was your number 5, Eddie?
This part always made me laugh. I don't know why. It made me laugh harder than most other parts of the movie for some reason. But when he's on the payphone in Texas and he's trying to prove that he's in Texas. And he just goes, a big hit, right? And they all stop and go, deep in the heart of Texas. And it fucking makes me laugh every time.
It's great.
It's so ridiculous.
I remember the Alamo. Yeah! Fucking great. Oh my God. Brilliant. You know, my speaking of the Texas scenes, my underrated moment that didn't make my top 5, but it has to give an honorable mention, is when Jan Hooks does the "There's no basement in the Alamo," and they all start laughing, and that little kid runs and takes a picture.
His picture.
Runs up and takes a picture. Like, yeah, fuck you.
I want to remember this loser forever.
Oh, forever. My number 4, it was in my open close encore, the nightmare scene when Francis is the devil, burning the bike, ba-da-bump, 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 and the clown's so great. What was your number 4, Eddie?
My number 4 is when Pee Wee has a cameo in his own movie.
Yes!
And they dub out his voice for a more manly voice.
Mr. Herbin.
And he's just standing there looking around because he doesn't know what to do.
Fucking great. Oh, my number 3, Large Marge. What was your number 3?
That's my number 3, Large Marge.
There it is, Large Marge.
On a night just like tonight.
Her ghost. My number 2, Eddie, is your number 4, Pee Wee's cameo. Mr. Herman.
Mr. Herman.
Mr. Herman.
My number.
What was your number 2?
My number 2 is the bathroom scene, or the bathtub scene with Francis and Pee Wee. Just from the moment he locks the door to the fight till it ends when he gives them both gum, trick gum, and Francis is smiling and just fucking black tar's coming out of his mouth, and the dad's just screaming. We're miles away. No one can hear us.
That might be the best comedy. That might be a top 5 comedy. The more we're sitting here thinking about how funny every fucking moment was.
Every scene is hilarious, and they all add together. It's just
my number 1 is it's not quite the biker bar tequila scene. It's there, right?
Yeah,
but it's actually when it's all over. Now, one of the funniest moments is when he rides off and makes it like 10 feet before crashing into the side.
Boom!
But my favorite scene, I don't know, this is like the Pee Wee Herman cameo. I don't know why it always cracks me up like it does, or like the stars at night are big and bright, but when they walk outside and that one biker just gets really earnest and goes, "Hope you find your bike, man." I don't know why that always. That guy just gets so solemn and I hope you find your bike, man.
Fucking bikers.
like he told. So you're assuming that he's now told the bikers the story
the
about
whole story.
him and Francis, and they didn't just kill him for being an even bigger. Instead, now they're like, "Oh, I hope you find your bike.
Hope you find your bike, man." Or don't we tattoo him?
Tattoo it. That guy. It was that guy too. It was a then we tattoo him guy.
It's like, we kill him. Then we tattoo him.
And of course, the cameo of Elvira.
Yeah.
I say you let me have him first.
have him first. What the fuck they want to kill him and then tattoo him?
Then tattoo him.
I think we kill him and then we tattoo him. Want to tattoo a corpse?
Fuck, that movie's incredible. I hope you find your bike, man.
Hope you find your bike, man.
What's your number 1, Eddie?
It's not the funniest moment in the movie, but it sets the tone for the whole movie, and it's the Rube Goldberg breakfast machine. When you wake up and you just, it sets the tone of the movie you're going to watch.
Brilliant.
So you know exactly what world you're going into.
Yep, it was, man. Oh, it just the best. That is so imaginative too. I mean,
and he pours fucking Captain Crunch on his pancakes.
Amazing. I've been don't eat my cereal.
Or it's Mr. T's cereal.
Mr. T, right, yeah.
Two bites and he wipes his mouth
and he's done.
He didn't even touch it.
Oh, tremendous. Oh, man. Who didn't want that house?
Oh.
Right? The fortune cookie dispenser. I mean, the fucking breakfast machine.
The fucking secret pad on the side of the house that opened up the door.
Oh, man. The greatest. Well, there we go. What a ramble. What a list. Thank you all for your emails. Next Ramble 358. Remember, it's going to be Barry Manilow's song. What song is on the Hall of Fame hat? What is Faith No More open, close, and encore with? And the top 5 bands of all time. There it is. You know where to find us. You know where to love us. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Give it a 5-star rating and a positive text review. Take care. I think we might be having Cody back next week. I think it's finally happening. We've teased it. I think it's going to happen.
We'll see what happens in Georgia. Friday. Let's see what happens in Georgia before we say it.
That's before we say it. Very true. All right. We love you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you Friday. Have a good one, everyone.